I'm gonna share how I started to learn this language, what motivated me, what are the struggles I faced, what are the mistakes that I made, and some magical tips to improve your English speaking. Have you ever felt stuck in the middle while learning English? I know how that feels because I was there too. So when I started my journey, I didn't know how to do that. What are the steps that I have to take? What are the sources that I have to have? Where to start? What to learn? Etc. But step by step, I turned my struggles into success. In this video, I'm going to share some of my language learning journey and some game changing tips that helped me to go from zero to fluent. Whether you're just starting out or looking to improve, I believe this video will help you. So let's start. First, what is the motivation behind learning English? So I was studying in school. I wanted to watch Cartoon Network channel. In those time, it was telecasted only in English. So I wanted to understand that. That was the main motive. But I cannot say that I was not good at writing because my school teachers were so good. They taught us grammar very well. So I was always on the top in writing or in learning grammar, in writing English too. But I was unable to speak. I was unable to understand what the English speakers were speaking. At that time, I was not having that much fire in my heart to learn English. So after that, I went to college. There, we had to write all the subjects in English. Thank God I was good at writing, so I could understand when I read, so I can write an exam. It helped me a lot, but still, I couldn't speak. But speaking in English was emphasized in our college, so I tried to learn to speak English. I was looking for sources. That was the time the internet was new. We would search everything in internet for the study material and everything, but I didn't have a thought about searching for learning to speak English. So the only thing I relied was watching English channels. Mostly it would be like Cartoon Network, Animal Planet, National Geography Channel, God Channel. So I used to watch it, but I never understood anything. I would keenly watch it. I would try to understand what they were speaking, and I was unable to do that. So I ended up in repeating the dialogues after them without knowing what I was telling. So this is how I did. I would just turn up the volume and I would repeat the same dialogues as the speaker in the channel without knowing what the meaning was. So that's how it started. So later, like 1 year or 2 years, I saw some improvement. I started to understand some of the sentences. Then that was a good thing. But the progress was not rapid because there was no compulsing situation that I have to speak in English. Because even after speaking in English was emphasized in our college, we still could talk in our mother tongue with our friends. It was not a strict rule, so I didn't have the interest to speak in English. Otherwise, I wanted to talk with my friends in English, but I restricted myself because I was afraid to make mistakes. I was afraid to be made fun of. So I just completely dropped that idea of speaking in English. So the first action that I took was watching English channels. Even after I don't understand anything, I started to watch it and I started to repeat the dialogues after the speakers. Later, I joined in my first job and that's when I had to speak in English because I was in a situation that I'm a teacher in an English medium school. So I had to speak in English. I cannot say that no, I can't speak in English. I had to. So I started to develop this habit of speaking in English. First, when I started, my pronunciation was not like this, and I was unable to frame the sentences, proper sentences in head. It would take a lot of time for me to translate everything in my head and put it into words. And sometimes I will have the fear that whether it would be right or wrong, so I would lose the confidence. There was lack of confidence a lot. That's when I started to speak English, but with a a lot of fear. So now I had to speak in English. So I have to find a way to speak this language fluently and properly. Because when we just put ourselves in front of students, we have to be at least one level top of them. So that was my thought. So the only way that we could do is, one is the way of teaching, other is our language and our communication. And my communication language was English, so I had to improve it, I thought. So I started to speak English and I made a lot of mistakes and I had so much struggles too. So what are the mistakes that I made? I started to learn English, and that was a time we search everything and anything in YouTube to do, to teach or to see some concepts. I started to use YouTube in the year 2013. I started to watch so many YouTube channels which taught English, and I didn't really know where to start. I was watching the videos, I was wasting my time, most of my time, and I was vague in my decision. I didn't really know where to start and how to start because there was so much information in that, and I couldn't get it, and I was overwhelmed about these rules and regulations, pronunciation, intonation, rhythm, and everything. So I thought first I would develop the habit of speaking in English first. Then I would go for improving my pronunciation. That's when the turning point comes. And I realized that I needed to change my approach. The method that worked for me very well is reading out the book loudly. And I started to do that, and I used to have a pronunciation app in my mobile phone. And whenever I come across a word that I don't know the pronunciation, I put that word in the app and I make it to pronounce and I repeat afterward. And if I come across a word that I don't know the meaning, I would search in the dictionary. So this is how I started. Okay, now I started to have the habit of reading and writing, so it eventually made me a little bit confident to speak in English, of course. Then I started to focus on improving my pronunciation. To improve my pronunciation, for me, shadowing technique, it helped me a lot because I already had the practice of doing that in my school time. So again, when I started to do that, I really enjoyed it. And the first channel that I watched was Rachel's English, the way she teaches each and every vowels, consonant, and it gave much clarity on how we pronounce a word, how the intonation and rhythm pattern works in English. I had a great idea about that. And in the middle, did I have struggles in emotionally having the frustration or something? Yes, I had. Sometimes people mock at me for my weird speaking style. So first, when you start to use this pronunciation, the people will stare at you like, huh? What? Then they will raise the question, is it necessary to follow this accent? It sounds so differently. Why do you use it? Like these questions were asked to me, and many people started to say that I copy somebody, and they would make fun of me. I got so many embarrassments. I got frustrated, and sometimes I would think, so why should I learn? Just talk like a normal person. Why should I improve this English speaking? Many times I thought about it, but I didn't quit. I didn't give up because that's what made me happy to learn this language. It is my passion to learn this language, so I should not give up. That was a thought I had in me. Okay, now I'm gonna give you some strategies to start to speak this language and some of the resources that you can use. The first one is there are so many methods to learn this language. The thing you have to do is find your own style, which one you like, follow that. And there are some videos in my channel, there's tips to improve your speaking and what are the strategies you can use to improve your speaking in English. And you can go and watch that. The resources that I used were apps, books, and YouTube channels. For shadowing technique, I would just use YouTube channel and I would watch at least one or two videos in a day. That's it. I won't go beyond that, because if I just keep on scrolling up and touching other videos, it will consume my time. So if I will waste my time, so why should I do that? Instead of doing that, I can just watch one video and I would just apply that technique or method on the spot itself. And I would speak after them, I would repeat after them, I would learn what they were saying. So that was the thing I was doing, watching the YouTube channel. While reading books, I will have my mobile phone nearby. If I come across a word that I don't know the pronunciation or the meaning, I will immediately search it in the mobile phone. And another rule that I had was, when I use my mobile phone, I will not go to any other sections of the mobile phone, only the dictionary and pronunciation app, so that it won't distract and I will not lose my time. So where am I now in my English level? Last year, the month of March, I believe, when I checked my English fluency, and I was in B1 level. There are websites to check your English level. You can just type English level checker in Google and it will show you some website, and you will have some set of questions in the website that you have to answer. Sometimes it will ask you to listen to voice. From that, they will ask you questions, and according to your answers, they will decide which level you are in. You can check that. I checked it and I was in B1 level. How this improvement, how this English speaking changed my life. The main thing is, I will be an odd one out. And of course, I have to stand in front of my students. So when I talk in this language, everyone's attention will be on me. They would keenly listen what I say. That's what I want in my class. I achieved that. Have I stopped to learn English? No. Still, I'm learning a lot. I have to learn more, because there is much more to learn in this language. It's like an ocean. So I still stay engaged to speak in this language in various ways. Speaking in school and also speaking to you, teaching you. By this way, I stay motivated to speak in English. So my tips for you to learn this language or speak this language is, first, find out your method. And each and every person, they learn differently. Everyone is unique. They will have a unique learning style. So you have to find your own learning style, and which makes you happy, which makes you so motivated, which method makes you to want to learn more. Find out that method, and that is a method you have to go for. Before finding out the method, you have to know what is your need. Or do you want to learn grammar? Then you have to choose accordingly. Do you want to improve your speaking in English? Then you have to choose accordingly. Or if you want to change your accent, and if you want to have a better accent, you have to take a step for that. So first you have to identify your need, then find out the method which is suitable for you, and don't just dive in immediately. Start to analyze how it works. Start very small. Do not be overwhelmed by seeing so many things available in the net. Just start small. Day by day, you can see the improvement. And that should be consistency, daily practice. Minimum, it should be 10 minutes practice. Don't miss that practice time. And you have to set your mind that you have to be patient, you have to be persistent, and you have to know that language learning journey is a lifelong process. Till the death, you will be learning something new. Set that mind according to that, you start practicing. And if you have watched so far and you are an English learner, I want to know how your language learning journey is and what stage you are, and how was your journey, what was the struggle, how you overcome that. Leave it in the comment below. Finally, learning English is like opening door to the world. And we know that this is a global language. Wherever you go, any country you go in the world, and you travel to any countries, the global language, the common language that we use is English. And if you have a greatest dream in your life, like attaining a position in a company or traveling all around the world, surely this accent improving or having a change in pronunciation, having a proper pronunciation will surely have an impact in your life. And it is a positive one, I assure that. Practice speaking or writing and listening every day. Don't afraid to make mistakes. They are part of the learning. They are part of life. From the mistakes, we learn something new. Surround yourself with English through books, through audios, through videos, through the English conversations. Believe in yourself, you will surely succeed. If you want to know more of my English learning journey, I have some videos in my Charmy's Chit Chat. I will put it in the card in the about. You can click that and go and watch it. And there I share some of my experience, the embarrassing experience in some of the videos, and some other part of my language learning journey. Thank you for watching so far. If you have watched up to this part of the video, leave it a heart in the comment so that I can know that you just listened to every word of mine. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.